Today, I am going to be sharing with you a successful soccer match betting strategy which you can always use to win your bet repeatedly. In this strategy, I'm going to be using two use cases to explain the strategy for better understanding. And to begin with, I'm going to be using an app called SofaScore. The first step I want to take is to locate my Play Store, as you can see here, and click on it directly. The app I'm going to be using to explain this strategy is going to be SofaScore, as you can see here. It looks like this from the inside based on the images displayed on Play Store. Once you locate this app, you want to make sure to go ahead to install the app successfully if it is your first time to use the app. You want to make sure that once installation has been completed, you want to locate the open button, as you can see in this case, and click on it directly. Once you do that, you are going to be taken to a front page that looks like this. And inside of this app, I'm going to be using two use cases to explain this strategy. And the strategy actually involves making a thorough search on the key players that would influence a match once it comes to match picks and prediction. In other words, before you want to go to select a particular game, if you want to give it a straight win or goals, then you first of all want to make sure that you select or make a research on the key players that could influence the game. To better understand this strategy, I'm going to be implementing one particular tip to use and two use cases to apply for this strategy. The first tip I want to introduce to you is to make sure that you locate games ahead of time. As an example, you can see my calendar here is showing that the date of today is the 4th. So what you want to do is to make sure that if you are to pick game to analyze using this strategy, you must pick a game 1 or 2 days ahead of time. To do this, what you want to do is to make sure that you switch your calendar to choose 1 or 2 days ahead of time before using this strategy. In this case, I'm going to use on the 5th as the first here. And once I come on the 5th, I'm going to use one particular use case for the date of the 5th, a match between Manchester City playing with Brentford. Once you find a game which you want to predict or analyze, the first step you want to take is to click on the game directly. As an example, in this game, in the England Premier League, a match between Brentford and Manchester City, I'll click on that game directly. Once you click on the game, the first thing you want to do is to locate this area here that gives the position of the league table. You are going to see that here in this area, we have position 2 and position 15 of the league table. Once you locate the position of the league table for both teams, you already have an idea of which team here is the favorite. And now, once you locate the favorite team, the next step you want to take is to locate the standing table, as you can see here, and click on it directly. Once you locate the standing table, what you want to do is to make sure that you first of all check the analysis of the home performance team as well as compared to that of the opponent, or the analysis of the favorite team as compared to that of the opponent. Once you are being taken to the standing table, the first step you want to take is to make sure that you try to analyze the favorite team based on the home and the away performance. The first step is to make sure that you look at the home performance by tapping at the home, as you can see here, and you are going to realize that Man City has a better form at home as compared to Brentford in the 13th position and Man City in the 5th position. The next step is to make sure that you locate the away team, as you can see here, the away button, and click on it, and you'll still find out that Man City still have a better form at away, more as compared to Brentford playing at home. Once you have noticed that the favorite team which you want to predict beats the opponent both at home and away, now the next step you want to take is to make sure that you check at the key player. To do this, you want to make sure that you go to the previous game that was being played by Man City and check for the key players that actually influence the match for Man City. Now, what you want to do is to come to this area that says matches, as you can see here, and click on matches. Once you click on matches, you want to scroll down and locate this area that says past matches, as you can see here. Make sure to choose Manchester City by tapping on the logo. Once you tap on Manchester City, what is going to happen is you are going to see the matches played by Manchester City. You want to check the previous game it had, and the previous game was between Man City and Burnley. Now, what you want to do is to click on Man City and Burnley, and you are going to be taken to a new page of the last game that was played by Man City. And since the game you are to check the match between Man City and Brentford, Man City is the favorite. You want to make sure that you check the key player of Man City in the last game that had 3 goals being scored for Man City. What you want to do is to scroll down, and you want to come to this area here that says line up and click on line up. Now you want to locate the players that scored goals for Man City and move again one step to check from the game which you are going to have in the next match. Here you are going to see that for Man City, the player or the key player were Julian. As you can see here, Julian scored 2 goals. We have this other player here, Rodri, who scored a goal, and you can see that were the 3 goals being scored for Man City. You want to go back again and check the next game for Man City if you are going to see Julian in the game or Rodri in the game. This is going to give you an idea if you should go for the favorite to win or to influence the game or to go for goals in this case. I'll move back again one step behind and come back to the game between Brentford and Manchester City. Now, what I want to do is to come again here to the lineup area and click on it directly. This is the game which will be played next. And now I want to check if in the lineup of the Man City we have the player that could influence the game. And here, the player here, you can see Julian is here, who was the player that scored 2 goals as we checked. And also, we have another player here who is Rodri, who actually scored the next goal. And what you want to do is to check the form of the player who is the striker ahead of this particular team and locate its form. Since we already have both of the players who influenced the game of the last play, who is Rodri and Julian, and they are now being involved in this game, and an additional player has added, which you can see here. And once you locate another additional player who have a high rating capacity, as you can see here, and who is being set as a striker in front of the other players, then you want to make sure that you also check the form of that particular player based on attack. To do that, you want to make sure that you click on the player itself. You are going to be taken to a new page that looks like this. Now, what you want to do is to tap again on the logo, as you can see here, by tapping the profile, and you are going to see a display result to you like this. You want to make sure to come to this area that says Attribute Overview and locate this area that says Attack. Once you locate the attacking area, you want to make sure that it is above 75, as you can see here. Once it is above 75, then the attack of that player has high probability of scoring. In other words, this particular player, Erling Haaland, has high capacity of scoring as well based on this particular attacking line, as you can see here. And based on tactical, you can see that it is still above 75, which is very good. You want to move one step again behind, and now you have checked the key player influencing the game. Now you already know that for this game, for Man City and Brentford, the probability of 1.5 goal or 2.5 goal to occur in this game is very high, so long as the key player scoring goals are here, which is Julian Alvarez, as well as Rodri and Erling Haaland, that has high attacking power and tactical strength based on offense, and the striking rate, as you can see, based on this position. You could therefore say that the away team, which is Man City, has the probability to win, and also you want to look at goals over 1.5 or 2.5 as the best pick on games like this. In other words, it is one of a strategy for you to detect goals probability of a game once the key players scoring goals are actually being found on the lineup, as well as the high striking player being mentioned has an attack power greater than 75, and also tactical, which is greater than 70 or 65. Once you locate that, then this game is good to go for. I will use another use case for this particular strategy. And now I want to move about 2 to 3 days ahead of time, since I mentioned that for you to use this strategy, you must pick a date 1, 2, or 3 days ahead of time to compare before choosing a game. I want to use a game on the 7th, which is ahead of time, and this time is a match between Aston Villa, still on the England Premier League, a match between Aston Villa playing with Chelsea, as you can see here. What you are going to realize is that in cases like this, which is a cup, we don't have a standing table to show you. But of course, there is another strategy or trick which you can use to actually check the performance between Aston Villa and Chelsea. So if you look at this game, what you are going to do is to check the previous game played by Aston Villa or Chelsea and locate them either in their Premier League or in the various league table to compare both of these teams. As an example, what I'm going to do is to locate the last match between teams of this area by clicking on it and come to this area that says matches and click on match. Once I click on matches, what I want to do is to scroll one step right down to this area that says past matches, as you can see here. I can decide to either go for Aston Villa, to click on it and only matches for Aston Villa will be shown to me, or I will choose to go to Chelsea and click on the logo so that only Chelsea matches will be shown to me. In this case, I want to go for Aston Villa and click on it. And now you are going to see that the last match they had a match with Sheffield United, and now they have a match with Chelsea. I want to click on this match, Sheffield United and Chelsea, to check the lineup. And once I go to this area, first, I want to go to this area that says lineup and locate the players or the key player that actually scored that 5 goals. I want to go to Aston Villa and locate those players. You can see they are here. We have a player, Oli Watkins. We have Leon. We have Yuri. We have John, as you can see here. And we also have Alex. Now, what you want to do is you already know the key players that are going to cause a lot of goals in this particular play. You want to make sure that you go again one step behind and go now to the area one step or right ahead of this area by coming to details, as you can see here, which is a match now between Aston Villa and Chelsea, and you are going to wait for the lineup to be displayed. In this case, we don't yet have lineup being displayed at the top navigation here, so you are going to wait for the lineup to see what players are going to play this game before making a decision on either going for goals or win. You can also do the same by going for this area that says matches, still at the top or bottom of this area, and click on Chelsea to make sure that you locate the games between Chelsea or the last game they played. Tapping on this, you are going to see the last match they actually had. In the last match, you want to locate the lineup and see what key player actually were played that Chelsea actually scored a goal, because it's a match between Chelsea and Aston Villa. So you are only going to look for Chelsea in this case. I want to go for Chelsea to see who actually scored the goal for Chelsea, and here you are going to locate the player. Once you locate the player for Chelsea, since it's already 1 goal or it's only 1 goal, you want to make sure that you locate it here. But of course, since it has not been displayed on any player body here, it means that the scorer is not a key player. And therefore, you know that it's not a key player who actually scored the goal. You want to make sure to check one step behind to wait for the lineup, which will be displayed, so that you know the key player who are going to play this particular game. If you locate that the lineup is being displayed at this area, and once you check for Aston Villa and you notice that the key players for Aston Villa are being mentioned as in the lineup area, they also showed in the lineup which were the influencing player for Aston Villa, as you can see here, like Oli, Leon, and Yuri, as well as John and Alex. Then of course, it is safe to say that Aston Villa is going to win the next game, or we want to go for goals over 1.5 or 2.5 goal in cases like this. This is a secret strategy which you can use to always win your soccer match bet picks by about 99%. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also enable the notification bell icon so as to be the very first to receive new post notifications and updates whenever we publish a new video or tutorial. And see you again in the next episode. Bye-bye.